Sometimes a movie comes out that just resonates with audiences and breaks the box office, making fans worldwide and starting conversations about possible sequels. You can't wait to see your favorite character back on the screen and what they get up to next. And then suddenly, there it is, the big announcement. The next installment is in production, coming your way soon. Release day swiftly approaches. You've been hyped for months to see this thing. So you go and see it. And it blows absolute chunks. I mean, it's straight up garbage. Before we begin, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Every new sub helps us achieve our goal and keeps us motivated to create new content. With that being said, I'm your host, Jamie, and here are 10 highly anticipated sequels that sucked. Number 1, Independence Day 2, Resurgence. Everybody wanted a sequel to the original Independence Day. And some 20 odd years later, we got it. And we were highly disappointed. Some actors came back to reprise their roles, such as Jeff Goldblum, Judd Hirsch, Vivica A. Fox, and Bill Pullman. And we got to see some new faces in this mix, with the likes of Liam Hemsworth and Jesse T. Usher. We see the world as it is in this fictitious setting. There's new technology, and the world just looks and feels different. After the War of 1996, the people of Earth used alien technology to advance ours, and came up with a new alert system. All seems good, until they find eggs in Africa and learn that the aliens are coming back, and they mean business this time around. And now they have to prevent another war and will do anything necessary to stop these damn aliens. This film has some good ideas. It's just lacking in execution. And to be honest, I thought it would have continued more with the original cast than these other ones. Sure, now we're seeing Captain Steve Hiller's son Dylan in action, but it just seems too scripted. Let me know what you think. And if you would like to see it, you can watch it on Google Play, Fandango, Apple TV, or Prime. Number 2, The Matrix 4, Resurrections. Lana and Lily Wachowski wrote, produced, and directed the previous films. But after Revolutions, they didn't want to do another, claiming the franchise was complete and didn't need another film. After a while, Lana agreed to write a new script and directed this entry solo. I have to agree. The franchise should have ended with Revolutions. The war was done. Neo and Trinity are dead. There was no reason to resurrect them. But they did. Now, they're resurrected and back in the Matrix. Thomas Anderson, or Neo, is a video game creator who creates these games off of what he remembers as Neo. Now, other people are finding an old code looping through the system, which just happens to be the exact moment when Neo first met Trinity. And he returns to the real world where everybody he knew is now gone. It's been 60 years. And tell me, please, why does Keanu Reeves age so slowly? Tangent aside, it's now up to Neo to have faith in Trinity and save the day once again. Like I said, the franchise should have just been done. But now everything is weird and just doesn't feel right. Like it's lacking that chemistry it originally had. Left me highly disappointed. And really, I didn't want to finish the film. But if you want to continue the series, you can check this out on Netflix, Max, Hulu, Sling, Prime, Google Play, Apple TV, Fandango, TNT, or TBS. Number 3, A Good Day to Die Hard. Bruce Willis is John McClane. Nobody can ever portray this character and get away with it. However, in the 5th and final installment for the franchise, we could have left him where he was. It was nice seeing John and Jack reconcile after years of not talking, but family drama. We follow John as he travels to Moscow to help his son Jack out, who currently is in some hardships. So in typical McClane fashion, things are blown up, a lot of fighting, and guns. They all just go hand in hand. But it didn't work. Bruce Willis was already getting up there in years, and you can tell. He's not as agile as he once was, and the action scenes had me cringing. All of the fights and stuff was because of a file that supposedly had information on it, and Jack was a CIA operative undercover in the Russian mob. Then John blows his cover, essentially. Most of the things happening are all because John won't let anything bad happen to his son, which many parents don't want to see bad things happen to their kids. The special effects are awesome, and the cinematography is good, but the plot sucks. If you ever find yourself bored and want to see some cringy action scenes, you can do so over on Hulu, Sling, Roku, Paramount Plus, Prime, Google Play, Apple TV, or Fandango. Number 4, Men in Black 3. Some things are better left at the drawing board, this being a prime example. I could get behind the aliens living among us and just trying to live like the people on Earth and whatnot. However, adding serious time travel into the mix kinda ruins it. Agent K shot off the arm of a hostile alien way back in 1969, arrested the alien, and then locked him up on the moon, where he stayed until 2012. Now the alien wants revenge and time travels back to 1969 to kill Agent K. Agent J, during a lot of this, still has his memories. The alternate timeline is weird and doesn't flow right. Agent J does travel back in time to help out K, and eventually the timeline does kind of continue. It just feels odd, and I feel like it shouldn't have been done. Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones are fabulous in these roles, but the story just doesn't work, and I often found myself bored. But if you feel like giving this a shot, you can check it out over on Hulu, Sling, Prime, Google Play, Apple TV, or Fandango. Number 5, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. The 9th episode in this saga, we follow Rey as she is on a journey to become a Jedi under the Resistance leader, Leia. Ren is on the lookout for Rey as he was given orders to find and kill her. She is also on this journey of finding a dagger, but that dagger has stuff written on it that C-3PO will not translate. There's a lot of duels between Rey and Ren, stormtroopers going all around the galaxies. It was really hard to follow. I love that the Millennium Falcon is back in the picture and that Carrie Fisher reprised her role. However, I did not like this film, and I grew up on Star Wars. This was also the lowest grossing film in this trilogy, and I can see why. It just failed on so many levels and could have been easier to follow. But I digress. Either which way, this is at the bottom of my list for this franchise. You can check it out on Disney Plus, Google Play, Fandango, Apple TV, or Prime. And let me know where this stands in your most liked to dislike list.
Hey folks, sorry to interrupt, but we just launched our very own merch store at fatninja.shop. We sell everything from t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, and more, so we would greatly appreciate it if you checked it out. All the proceeds go to our future projects, so it helps us make any kind of movies and short films that we want to make in the future. So if you got time, check out fatninja.shop. Thanks again, and back to the video.
Number 6, Scream 3. If you're gonna be a slasher film, then stick to it. Don't shy away and focus on a more comedic standpoint or drama or anything else. Stay a slasher film. The writers took the slasher aspect down a couple of notches in this film due to the horrific events at Columbine High School just a year prior to this release. They thought people wouldn't want to see that much violence in the media anymore. And they may have had a point, but it made the film lose its edge. It was good, though, that the original cast reprised their roles, such as David Arquette, Neve Campbell, and Courtney Cox Arquette. We also got Jenny McCarthy, Parker Posey, and Patrick Dempsey, which is a great cast. But we follow Sydney as she's a crisis counselor when one day she receives a phone call with that dreaded voice changer. Now she's brought to Hollywood where they're filming Stab 3, which is based off of the Ghostface killings, and people start dying. The ending, though, just lost me. It seemed very predictable, and Randy's predictions for the whole film are pretty spot on. Except, she doesn't die. We can safely say that because she is in every other Scream film. This is the least favorite in the whole franchise, and I'm glad they went back to a more slasher-friendly film in 4. However, if you feel like you want to scream at something, be sure to check this out over on Max, Hulu, Apple TV, Fandango, Google Play, or Prime. Number 7, Speed 2, Cruise Control. We have a winner. That is, this film actually won for Worst Remake or Sequel back in 1997. And that's a title we have to share. Sandra Bullock reprises her role as Annie, and she is a little more daring in this story. She's dating an LAPD officer, taking her road test again, and goes on a cruise with her boyfriend. Everything seems great until John Geiger, played by the brilliant William Dafoe, starts killing and sabotaging the cruise liner. It really becomes a battle of wits between Geiger, Annie, and her boyfriend Alex. Alex isn't afraid to do what needs to be done, but little does he know, Annie is a true badass in the face of danger. The crash between the cruise liner and the tanker is the most expensive thing for this film, costing them a quarter of their budget. There's some quick little quips that are hilarious, and Sandra Bullock and William Dafoe can do no wrong, but this story is absolutely horrible. And then you have this new guy as a love interest. Made people really miss Keanu. If you feel like watching another ship go down, head over to Starz, Hulu, Roku, Google Play, Fandango, Sling, Philo, Apple TV, or Prime. Number 8, Halloween Ends. The last film in the franchise, or so we're told, was the biggest disappointment to fans everywhere. Yet, it's the third highest grossing film in the Halloween series. It's kind of weird that we follow a new character more than we do Laurie. This is the battle of all battles when it comes to her and Michael. Yet Corey is a more prominent figure in this film. Let's break it down. Corey was a babysitter who accidentally killed a kid when he was watching, ultimately making him an outcast in his own hometown. He ends up moving to Illinois, where he works at a salvage yard and ends up meeting Allison, Laurie's daughter. They start to catch feelings for each other, and one night, Corey gets pulled into the sewer by Michael and is let go. Well, Corey then is showing homicidal tendencies, and Laurie catches on to this, telling him to stay away from Allison, which he doesn't agree to. The rest of this film is where most of the brutality comes in, and it doesn't lack much, but again, the problem is that Laurie isn't the main character, but she does get her revenge at the end, as well as the whole town. I will say, I love that Jamie Lee Curtis stayed with the franchise. I just wish it would have catered to her more than this new guy. Some even speculate that this is the beginning of a new era for Halloween. But you can't have a good Halloween film without Michael Myers. If you feel like checking it out, you can do so over on Starz, Hulu, Roku, Prime, Philo, Google Play, Fandango, or Apple TV. Number 9, Son of the Mask. Jim Carrey made The Mask. He was the best person for the job with his physical comedy and off-the-wall shenanigans only he can get away with. Replace him, and you're not going to have anything near what we were expecting. And that just so happens with this film. We follow Tim Avery, an inspiring animator, and his wife Tanya. Their dog Otis finds the mask in a river and puts the mask on. But the next morning, Tim finds it. For a Halloween party, he puts it on and becomes the life of the party. And at home, he and his wife have sex, impregnating her. The kid is then born with the powers of the mask and becomes more animated than anything in this film. Otis and the baby end up fighting for attention. All the while, Loki is looking for his mask. It's really weird, and it just doesn't feel like it has that same energy that the original had. Nor does it fit into the whole story. We don't need to see this horrible rendition of the Norse gods. Even they seem too stiff. And Loki, being the god of mischief, was put to shame. Normally, I am a fan of Jamie Kennedy, but this was outside his realm and felt too forced. However, if you would like to see this, head over to Prime, Google Play, Fandango, or Apple TV. I suggest to stay with the original though. Number 10, Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen. Michael Bay is notorious for his large-scale, in-your-face scenes, and he went huge with this. Even actor Shia LaBeouf claims they lost sight in this project, so they just went bigger to the point of it just being robots fighting. Bay claims the bad script on the writer's strike of 2007-2008, but that still doesn't negate from coming up with something this horrible. There's no real plot. There was a lot of tension behind the scenes with Megan Fox and Michael Bay, and it just doesn't feel like there's a lot of human elements here. The plot is so easy. Sam goes off to college. Michaela stays behind. Long distance relationship. Sam loses his mind after touching a piece of the spark. Michaela and Sam fight. Then a war is brought down from the Decepticons. Simple. Sam's parents, though, in this film are absolutely hilarious. And they don't change from one film to the next. It's great, consistent, and adds that little touch of embarrassment our parents were able to dish out. But for something completely mindless, with in-your-face action, you can check this out on Google Play, Apple TV, Fandango, or Prime. But I recommend the first one. Or watch this with the volume way down. Thanks for checking out the video. Did we leave any films off the list? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to tap that bell icon to stay up to date with our latest releases. You can reach out to us on Twitter or X at StudiosFat, or chat with us on Discord, linked below. Make sure to check out our very own merch store located at fatninja.shop. All proceeds go towards our next film project, so we'd greatly appreciate it. I've been your host, Jamie. Thanks again. See you in the next one.